So, welcome to another live stream here on Wolf of Dubai. Let me know, guys, if you can hear me well and if the video and audio is synchronous, so I can make sure that we are totally aligned with each other. Let me just see, the settings should be fine. People are arriving in the live stream, and what a stock market. What an absolutely insane stock market. Now, first of all, we have a super green day. Most of the stocks are up today, and I believe those are really, yeah, big gains going on the stock market right now since the latest recent lows, obviously, and people are asking two questions. First, is this sustainable? And second, do I miss something, right? JJ just saying he's starting to have FOMO, fear of missing out. That's totally normal. And we have two people from US, Smith, and Smith is from Ohio, and F Chow US. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, and so people have starting to have FOMO, fear of missing out. Obviously, if they see Tesla going up 100% in just a couple of days, obviously this is something that is creating FOMO. This is something totally normal, and just always remember that especially Tesla is a very volatile stock. We have the couple of good news, yes, but the production facility is still closed, guys, right? So remember that when thinking about fear of missing something out. I think there's still those levels that are now there are not that much sustainable. In a couple of seconds I will go with you into the market to see where we are, and in the end of the day we should see what is really interesting. And there was one comment today from a very known and very influential trader who said the following: there's three options. All right, number one, the market is totally insane and we should be about 25% less than we are now. Second, the market is pricing in already next year's very good earnings, and therefore we have a stabilized market situation in these gains, and people feel comfy in these levels. And on the other side, the last option was that maybe the fiscal money injection is the driver for those recent gains, and also this are the new normals. Maybe this is the new normals, that we have a huge PE ratios on stocks, that this money that coming into the market is helping the economy. So there's really, as I said many times before, if you listen to this stream, never estimate the Fed, and also never underestimate the creativity of the Fed, because they can print money that they can print so long money that you will get bankrupt by betting against it with your normal logic that you would apply to stock trading and valuations and stock investing. And therefore, with this said, let's dive into Tesla stock. I will just pull it up here. Tesla is on an unbelievable run. Tesla stock, let's see what we have here. Let's see if we have some questions already. Then I can go on those. We have Canada here. Dennis from Canada is watching. Hugo, will the market keep this bullish trend with everything going on? How it's possible, this behavior? Are you still waiting to buy Tesla? Yes, I'm still waiting to buy Tesla. I'm not, I'm already more than a decade on the stock market, and I'm not afraid of this going up and downs. I was not afraid when people said that Tesla will go bankrupt at 178. I was not afraid that we have a big crash at 900 levels. So you should, there's a big nice saying, I think by Warren Buffett, that the money on the stock market is going to be transferred from the impatient people to the patient people, right? And I try to be a little bit patient right now in the current situation because, well, I really cannot, see in the future what can happen, but still, there's some big factors for myself, for my personal investing, that I believe that Tesla stock can go down. And obviously, this fast going ups is really sometimes or for sure driven by more pull downs. We have seen this in the first run to 968. We run back to, I think it was 700 levels, then we went up back to 900 levels, then we went back to 350 levels, then we went back to 750 levels. So you see, what I want to say is that we're going back and forth. So let us go into the Tesla stock, and for that I will open here the browser, and you should see now my screen. Tesla is now at 12.66% up, S&P 500 at 2.81%, the Dow Jones 229, Nasdaq 378, and Russell 145. And as you can see, I want to show you first the 1 month gain. So you see here back in 18th of, here, full screen. Full screen sounds good. So 1 month. So here actually you can see we had some big selling here towards the mid of March, which gave us the lows of 350 levels, and then we had a very quick recovery here. Then we gave a little bit up and then went back straight up, and I think this will happen. What here happened, what happened here I think will happen here as well, but as bigger the gain, the more will be also the pullback. Obviously, you can see here, but that most of it in this month was mainly purchasing power by people out there who really want to see apparently the stock at 730 levels. But let's quickly talk about which news drove the stock. So first of all, the first big news for Tesla was that they crashed delivery numbers. The delivery numbers was exceptional, and this obviously will bring the stock forward. Secondly, there was the news that they got really much China, I think 20,000 in 24 hours. My today's vlog, if you want to watch it later on after this stream, is very interesting. I'm going into this news about how the online sales for Tesla was one of the most genius moves for the company maybe, and this is very important for a company like Tesla to be innovative, one step ahead. And again, they showed us with the online sales, they are a step ahead of the competition, and therefore this was another news. Then we had smaller news as well, that they are reducing salaries, try to negotiate with some landlords for some locations, for some to save the cost. This obviously is good for a company, especially Tesla is innovative not only on the operation front and the product innovation, but also on the front of really financing. I remember that time, I think it was somewhere in mid last year, where they started to really look into the finances, to look to how to make Tesla profitable, and they really made a great job to save a lot of costs. And therefore I believe Tesla is very underestimated what they can do financially, and therefore maybe we will even see a profit, right? Anything can happen in Q1, which is just around now 7-8 days away from today. 8 days, and we will know how Tesla is going to do on Q1 financially speaking. But let's have a look if you guys have already some questions. So we have Poland in the live chat as well. That's great. Let's see. I bought 4 shares and in 4 days I made $800. Raphael, this is amazing, but don't get used to it because it can go also that fast down. The market is currently unpredictable. So the missing link, when did you get into Tesla and when out? How many stocks did you have? I had a couple of 100 stocks. And I went in over the last year and the year before. I also went into Tesla on an average price of 250, so pretty good if you consider where these levels were. I hope this answers the question. When did you get, Ellie Minofor, did you think that NIO will follow Tesla's trend in the near future? I mean, NIO is a very special stock. They had to really learn how to go with investors the hard way. But I think they learned the lessons from it. I think they are China backed and therefore, a pretty good chance that they will be successful in the future. But to be so successful like Tesla is a pretty hard game. So Raphael is telling us about his successful story that he bought at 420, 514, 530 and 560. What I can recommend, for beginners like you, Rafa, maybe work with stop losses. So once you are in the stock, make sure you put, that if the stock goes below 600, that you go out of this, with profit. Because again, the stock market can be volatile, very much just a couple of bad news. When we reopen the economy, what will happen to factories? Do we have a new normal? Do people spend? Do people buy cars? We don't know yet. Ford just announced that they will make $600 million negative in the soon future. So similar can happen to other car manufacturers out there. So just make sure to secure yourself. Who else we have? Also look up Dave Lee on investing. He has some good insights of will do. Jim, I bought 30 shares at 430. Congratulations. Mike B is very happy to be here in the chat, apparently. The missing link. Are you shorting now that you think it will go down? Indeed, I bought today a small short position in Tesla. I'm usually not that day traders. I don't like to trade, but those times, are very volatile. It can go up easily, back down. I feel like there's now many good news came in and priced in. Like I said, China news, the news about reopening, the news about the Model 3 extension of the portfolio in China. Many good news came at once. So I think now if we don't have good news, I think in the end of the day, and I say this apparently very much often here on this live stream, but what to do, right? If you're thinking about investing, it's always about risk management. And if you consider a trade like this for today, let's say shorting Tesla, you have to think about, okay, now we gained 100% in the last couple of months. Put it into perspective, which is very, very much compared to other turnaround stocks, okay? So this is number one. Number two, think about that Tesla in general is very volatile stock. So it can go also very much down in a couple of days. And third, think about what is the upside potential and what is the downside risk. And think about it in terms of what money do you put in a trade? Are you willing to lose that? For example, I put 2% of my portfolio into a Tesla share short, and I know, okay, maximum I can lose 2%, but maybe this will gain and I will make 1%. You know, is it really worth it? Or what is in the next few days to expect? I think, you know, people will use the time also to sell some stocks to make some profit. You know, like Rafa here, he make $800 with a input of $2,000. So if he will see that the stock will go down 5%, 7%, 10%, maybe he will start to sell. Well, before I lose everything that I gained, I will sell right now. And I think this towards the earnings will happen, can happen. I can be wrong, but I know always my risk. I always know, okay, if I lose everything in this one trade, then I'm, for example, not the technical guy, you know, I'm more the news guy. I see what are the news out, what is out there in terms of potential risk and profit to be made. And therefore, you know, one of the most important thing in the stock market and investing is risk management. And therefore, you know, if you figure this one thing out, then also all your trades, all your investments will be so much better, because, you know, you can really assess how this trade could look out and how this trade could go out, right? What is number one scenario? I lose everything. Number two scenario, there's more news coming up. I will lose maybe 20-30% of my investment. And then number three scenario is that, you know, now we will go into the turn, and then we will use a couple of bad days, and then, you know, you make some profit. So I think this is very important, and you know, this is always the number one thing to consider: how much you can lose, what is your risk management. Here, Austin, do you think Tesla will keep climbing as we near the earnings? I think there will be a pullback. Ellie, market about to break days high. Will you live stream Battery Day? Absolutely, I will live stream Battery Day. You know, these live streams are giving me a whole new opportunity for you guys to communicate. I love the interaction, you know, I love to be live, I love to be interact with the community, with your questions, react on a couple of news. Yesterday, before, when Tesla went 13%, I thought I will make a second live stream. You know, this will be a new type of evolution and dimension of my channel. And if you like it so far, make sure to thumb up this live stream, because apparently the YouTube algorithm really likes it. And if you are new here, make sure also to hit that subscribe button, because I'm vlogging every day, I'm live streaming every day, so you can learn a lot, you can have much more fun, and you know, by making some money, we can have a lot of fun. But let's talk about some more questions here. So real estate prices. There's a question of real estate prices. There's one thing that actually two things that concern me about real estate. Number one, I just saw that especially in the US, that it's very hard to get a loan now, to get a mortgage for a new home. So you have to put, I think, at least 30 or 40% down. And they have a very strict selection, because currently the banks are experiencing bad loans coming in, right? So they see that people are really cannot pay their mortgage, and therefore I think this will be a start of not a big housing bubble, but the property market went up significantly worldwide, and I think this can be a problem for the real estate market, you know, so keep that in mind. What do you think about the stock space? I think it's an interesting play for the future, but not investable at this prices at this moment. I would love space was, I think, quite cheap the other day. I thought same with Tesla, right? Tesla was at 350. Who thought that from 968 we go down back to 348, I think, and then back to 750, you know? I think now Mr. Jim Chanos, one of the most important short sellers, is very not amused. Okay, so how much consideration do you give Ark Invest with Katie Wood and Tasha Kine regarding Tesla exponential growth? I think some of the theses are very, very much well thought through. They put some research. Sometimes they are a little bit too much bullish in my perspective. But I think, and overall, you know, I think also that Tesla has many big advantages in their data that they're collecting, in their R&D, in their products itself, how they make the distribution, many good things. So I think you know, it will be definitely a couple of $1,000 stock in my personal opinion, you know. All right. So Willie, this is insane and not suitable. Eventually markets will crash, just a matter of time. Well, they just did, right? We had a crash of about 30%, which is more than correction, which correction is 20% or more or less. So we had definitely a crash, or considerably crash. And people are debating now, is it going again to the lows, or just a little bit towards the south and then back up, or will we have a V shape? So the V shape is we went down and going back up, and then that's finished. Or do we have a W, down, up, you know? So nobody knows in the end, and this always depends on the evolution of this whole situation, obviously. Hugo, are there any stocks that you think are undervalued right now, like Facebook or Microsoft, for instance? Yes, I think there are a couple of stocks undervalued right now. I think just to give you a small teaser, but I made, I think, 1 or 2 videos about this in my vlog, so make sure to go into my vlogs and look for undervalued stocks, so you will find 1 or 2 videos. I think Amazon is a stock that will change. I mean they will change how we do business in the future, what we and how we consume, and how we order products at home. So I think I think they will crash the earnings. Unfortunately, they went up the last couple of days, so I couldn't establish my trade for their earnings yet. So I hope that in the next days we will have maybe some negative days to catch up. But let's see about that. Okay, so what else do we have? What do you think is the purchase price for Tesla stock? I think there's one YouTuber called Chicken, Singapore Chicken, and he made a very interesting video about that by splitting it into normal price, cheap price, and I think okay price or something like that. So if you can buy Tesla for 400, 500, I mean, here's the deal, okay? If you believe that Tesla will be $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, maybe even $5,000 per stock, does it really matter if you buy at 300, 500, or 700? I don't think so, right? So in the end of the day, it's really in your own perspective. What is your investment horizon? If it's long term, then buy in the next couple of days. If it's just short term, then maybe wait until it's down to 400. So it all depends on your investment area. Will you invest in Starlink if they make the IPO? I would love to invest into SpaceX because I think they are just revolutionizing the area there and the space area, right? But unfortunately, it's a privately owned company as of this moment, so I cannot really invest into SpaceX. But I don't know if you read the Elon Musk book. There's one official book about Elon Musk, about I think the journalist called Ashley. And this one book made me also discover Tesla, or one of the big reasons why I invested into Tesla. I think that Elon Musk has really some talent and some drive to make changes, and he showed it at PayPal, in different other companies, and now with Tesla and SpaceX. So I think you should have always a good guy in the very top of your investments, and I will definitely put some money behind that always. So I think a big leadership, good leadership in companies is very important. But let's go into before the market we have still 2 hours for the market, but however, let's have a look into the market right now, where Tesla stock is at current values. So we are currently at, I have to obviously show you that. So we are now at 13% plus for this day. Let's see. So this is almost the highs. Our highs were here at $736, and we are now at 735. But let us see, when was the last time when Tesla stock was at these levels. So you can see here, Tesla was at these levels at about 5th or 4th of March, so about 1.5 months ago, which is very interesting. How fast we had this crash here, and went from what was it here, 917 to 360, or I think the lowest part here even was somewhere about 348. And I think that maybe today or tomorrow we shall see that the stock will go. I think maybe for today we will close somewhere at the 700 levels, but let's see about that. We went down to 708 already. It really depends if people are thinking, hey, is it now a good time to sell? Should I take some profit out of the trade, or should I go forward, right? As again, I said, a couple of news went out that pushed the Tesla stock in the last couple of days from crazy 550 to 735. And tomorrow I will show you in one of my daily vlogs that what it means for the Tesla stock after this big push up, which milestones we have to look into it in the next couple of weeks. So definitely stay tuned tomorrow on my channel when I drop the video for tomorrow for you guys. As you know, I'm vlogging every single day, and I hope to stream also every single day out of my new studio right now. And let me know, let me leave a like, please, for the YouTube algorithm. What else do we have? So Mike says 750 end of day. Mike is a bull, definitely. So Jake is asking if I sold all the shares. Yeah, I was by day I was selling every now and then. So because I didn't know when is a good time to sell, then you just sell, let's say 20 stocks, so you have a good average price. And so Mike Mike is very much a bull, as I can see. with thinking that Tesla can go to $800 or $900. This can happen, you know. Maybe I'm totally wrong, and Tesla stock will shoot up to 1,000, all-time high today. Everything has happened, guys. Everything can happen. We have seen in the last couple of days or weeks also that just out of nowhere, the federal bank can just appear and push billions of dollars into the market, and then this helps obviously to bring the stocks up, right? Missing link. Is there a window behind the curtain or a wall behind you? No, I have a window. So I have my back is a glass window with Dubai skyline. Yeah, almost. I can see the highest building in the world from here, from my apartment. So okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed it so far. I thank you very much for participation. Tomorrow comes another vlog of Tesla. Today I just dropped a Tesla vlog as well, so make sure to check those out, and I see you tomorrow. Thank you very much for tuning in.